If you would, we'll do a roll call so sort of know who all's on here. I'm not picking up everybody's picture.
Okay. Chairman Mason,
Present.
Ms. McCready,
Correct, I'm here.
Mr. Geary, I don't see him. Mr. Thomas,
I'm here.
Mr. Williams,
Here.
Mr. Frizzell,
Here.
Mr. Decker,
Here.
Mr. Kite, Mr. Roddy.
Well, it appears we have a quorum. So if it's okay with everybody, we'll go ahead and get the meeting started. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Allison, you're on mute.
I'm pardon. Pardon, I missed that.
She was saying that Allison is on mute. Apparently, Allison was trying to speak.
Thank you so much. I've had a little technical.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
Thank you. I apologize for the technical difficulty. I just wanted to remind you before you proceeded with any business that because you're conducting your meeting electronically, you will want a determination by the governing body that it's essential business. So, and you can do that in conjunction with approving your agenda, for example, since you have to take a roll call vote.
Oh, okay. As Allison has pointed out to us, this is a called meeting, and it does fit into the guidelines for a Zoom meeting, and we'll be conducting the county's business. I guess the best thing we'll do would be do a roll call vote that everyone agrees for this meeting.
Yes, sir.
Teresa, since you've got the list, would you like to do a roll call vote?
Sure. Chairman Mason,
Yes.
I didn't see that. How'd you set the one?
Ms. Crouch,
Yes.
Niles Geary,
Yes.
I got the covers.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Frizzell,
Yes.
Mr. Decker,
I didn't see them.
Yes.
Mr. Kite,
That's what happens when you get some hurry.
Mr. Roddy,
Present.
John, do you agree this is an essential meeting?
Chuck, you said it was. I do. Yes, I agree.
Okay. Thank you.
I got to cover my butt.
Okay, that's everyone, and we've also had, everyone is here except for one now.
Okay, good. I'd like to, my name is Chuck Mason. I'm chair this year. I would like to call this meeting to order. Probably our first order of business today is our September 17th minutes. I hope everyone got a copy of them and went through them. Is there, I would entertain a motion to accept the September 17th minutes, or if there's any additions or corrections.
All right, 10 orange, 20 ampersanders. I'll go get them right now and give them to Chris.
So moved.
Okay, it's been moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, like sign. Okay, minutes are approved by acclamation. Okay, really our point of business today is Alicia is going to go over a pilot discussion with us. Alicia, I assume you're on here.
I am.
Okay, do you want to take off and give us a rundown on today's business, please?
Absolutely. And Happy New Year. And thank you all for having me here today. I would mention also that we have Mark McMerrill on the line. Mark is the consultant for the company that we're going to be talking about today. And I think after I'm finished with my presentation, he'd like to make just a couple of comments. So with that, thank you so much. With that, I'll get started. And please, if you have questions along the way, just stop me and we'll address those. And I'm going to share my screen right now and give you all the information. So this project is under codename Project Mercury, and we're here today for a property tax abatement request. A little bit of background information about the company. It's an existing Washington County manufacturer, so what we're talking about today is an expansion. They currently have facilities located in the U.S. and worldwide. Their current employment here in Washington County is 159 full-time with an average wage of $23.40 an hour. And this will be their third expansion in Washington County. About the project, it is competitive. We're competing against South Carolina. The project will create 25 new manufacturing positions over 5 years. Those 25 new positions combined with the existing 159 will have an average annual salary of about $48,672 at the end of the 5th year ramp up. The company plans to invest $12,300,000 over 5 years. That will primarily be in the form of machinery and equipment. So again, it's an expansion of their production capability, and they'll be adding new product lines. And then just a little bit about their project schedule. Year one, which is this year, they anticipate creating all of those new jobs this first year. They'll invest $2.2 million in the machinery and equipment. And you can see on the screen, the investment goes up annually, $1.1 million in year 2, $2.9 in year 3, $2.8 in year 4, and $3.3 in year 5. Again, the majority of this is in machinery and equipment. I wanted to talk just a little bit about the economic impact. And I know we've talked about this before. The direct effect is the direct employees that will be hired by that company. Indirect is suppliers for construction. They may be coming in to set up equipment, operational supplies, utilities, that kind of thing. And then the induced effect is additional household spending, which will come as a result of those new hires. And that can come in the form of new home sales, groceries, gasoline, shopping, and our retail establishments and restaurants. And here's a look at what this might look like under a 5-year projection. So those 25 jobs, and remember we just talked about indirect and induced jobs, those 25 jobs will have an impact of a total of about 48 new jobs. The direct earnings just from those 25 is about $3.8 million. And the total combined with the induced and indirect is about $6 million. We've also estimated the sales tax revenue over that 5 years, and it's about approximately $105,000. And then just a little reminder there that their 159 current full-time employees have an average wage of about $48,700. And now just to touch on the deal, so we talked about the request today is for a property tax abatement. What we would like to request is a 5-year abatement and at 75%. And so each investment period will get 3 years at 75%, and then it'll come on the rolls. Remember, we're talking about machinery and equipment. So basically, the lifetime of that property tax is about 7 years, depending on exactly what it is that they're bringing on. So each annual investment period gets a 3 years at 75% abatement. And then just a little bit about the accountability, and we have talked about this before with our other pilots. Starting January 31st of next year, so of 2022, they'll do an annual job creation report, and that job creation report will have the number of new jobs that they've created, the number of jobs that have been retained, and the average wage. And that report will be certified by a company officer and will come to the Industrial Development Board. And on non-achievement, so at the end of 5 years, if the company has not created 90% of the 184 jobs, which the 184 is the existing 159 plus the 25, 90% of that is 165. If they've not created those by the end of the 5 years, the pilot ends. And then the benefit to Washington County is not just the 159 retained, but 25 new jobs with that average wage we talked about, a little over $48,000. Just as a reminder, our median income for Washington County is $33,227, and our per capita is $29,656. And I give you those numbers so you can see that this is indeed a company that pays above our median income and is helping us reach our goals of increasing that median household income. Again, the new product line, the new capital investment is $12,300,000, and that includes the new property tax, the new product lines, and then also new property tax revenue that'll come into the county. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about the project.
Thank you very much for that presentation, Alicia. That's a very, very good company in our community. Speaking to the board, if have an open discussion time for anyone with any questions for Alicia or anyone else at this time.
Alicia,
I have a question, if I may. This is for Zell. Alicia, at the end of 5 years, if they have not created 160 jobs, is that right? So it's one more than they've currently got?
It's 165 is the 90% mark. Yeah.
Right. So a few more than they've currently got. They lose the pilot, but they don't have to pay anything in sort of retrospect. They get what they got for the period of 5 years.
That's correct. That's correct. And the pilot at that time, at the end of 2025, if they haven't reached that number, it is terminated.
So in terms of the total lifetime of this deal, they're losing about 2 years if they don't meet the minimum.
That's correct.
Okay.
what's the projected cost savings for them with the abatement?
Give me just 1 second and I will tell you. Sorry about that. I thought I had that handy. It's about $125,000 over the life of over the 7 years.
Okay.
Are you going to send us this PowerPoint?
Certainly, yes.
Okay. How does this what do you think our competition is offering? Do you have any feel for that?
I do not.
This is in line with our sort of standard pilot offerings?
We look at each of our pilots on a case-by-case basis. And primarily how we come up with calculations for that is based on the job creation numbers, the capital investment, and the wages.
Okay.
So my answer would be yes, this is in line with what we've done in the past.
Is this the first pilot that we have with this company, if they're an existing Washington County company?
It is not. They had a pilot when they originally landed here back in 2007. They did a qualified expansion that fell within those pilot guidelines in, I believe, 2011. And they did another expansion in 2016. And they currently have a pilot in place. Sorry, I may have to refer to the county attorney. There is a pilot in place. I believe it's on the machinery and equipment that they currently have in the facility.
Alicia, is this a division or is this their headquarters?
This is just one of their facilities. It is not their headquarters, just one of their manufacturing facilities.
So can we assume that since they're being considered for this pilot, they have met the requirements of the previous agreements that they've had?
Yes, that's correct.
Good corporate citizens?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They had, I might add this about COVID, that they had an impact of COVID early on in the year in terms of having to furlough employees, and those have all been brought back. So they recovered pretty quickly, I think.
Alicia, this is John. You mentioned the one of the benefits is the possibility of creating 25 new jobs and then the 157 retaining of existing jobs. Obviously, I guess that implies that, and you indicated that, that if this isn't worked out, if we don't offer the pilot, then there's a possibility they may go somewhere else. Is that a realistic possibility, do you think, or is that?
Yes, it is realistic. This company has, I think, 3 manufacturing facilities in Tennessee. They are all currently in the competitive phase for expansions at this time. So, yes, they could easily go outside of Tennessee at some of their other production facilities.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there any more questions from the commissioners?
Chairman Mason, I have an answer for one of your members. As suggested by Alicia Summers, I am happy to confirm that the company that has the existing pilot has both personal property and real property, but even said they are paying taxes because of the scaled value. So it's on both tangible personal property and real property, but they are paying taxes on that scaled amount, I believe, with the personal property for sure. And actually on the real property, they are into the range where I believe they're paying 80% of the applicable ad valorem.
Thank you, Allison. I appreciate that. Alicia, did you have any more wrap up on it before, or is there any more discussion before we ask Mr. Mark McMurrill to speak?
I don't have anything else to add, but thank you.
Any commissioners have any other questions?
I'd like to hear how our mayor, Joe Grandy, feels about this. Is there any comments on what the impact of this could be for the county?
Yeah, John, thanks. This particular company really has been a good model company for us. The initial pilot was satisfied, and then they had a qualified expansion, so that's where we are today. They have been an important part of the community, and the rate of pay is important to note because that does hit a mark that would increase our household income.
John, was that satisfactory response
Oh, yeah,
to you?
thank you. I think that, it's important to point out what a impact they've made in the county. Thank you.
When you have a company coming in that is looking almost $18,000 above what our U.S. Census pay rate is here, that's a considerable jump for this particular area and good corporate citizens. At this time, I'm sorry about the frog in my throat. I appreciate everybody putting up with me today. Alicia, did you have any other comments before Mark?
Just to say that I appreciate you all taking this expansion project into consideration. But I would say also that this particular company has been a great corporate citizen for us. They have been here, like I mentioned earlier, since 2007, and we are very appreciative of the confidence that they've placed in Washington County in our labor pool here, and we appreciate really the opportunity to see them expand and grow yet another time.
Okay.
Alicia, just one question. Is this the kind of business, if they expand here, will attract either suppliers or downstream, upstream
Mr.
companies?
Frizzell, they have one of their direct suppliers located across the street from them now. So when they landed, they brought one with them.
Okay, great. So as they expand, then that supplier may need to expand their capacity.
Could be.
All right. Thank you.
Alicia, would at this time would Mark want to speak to the commissioners?
Yeah, I appreciate your time, and I think Alicia, great job presenting it. Appreciate you going through all the details, and I think she did a great job hitting on all the high points. I just wanted to just thank everybody for your time today. As I know the company's very appreciative of your commitment to the local businesses. And obviously we value our relationship with the local community and jurisdiction, and always strive to continue to look at bringing new projects and jobs to the area whenever possible. And like I said, the relationship is key to us. And as everybody stated, always want to be a good corporate citizen and give back whenever possible. And these abatements and incentives do help us make future business decisions while also allowing us to put any savings back into the business and community. So again, I just wanted to speak up and just thank everybody, and again appreciate your consideration for these property tax abatements that we spoke of today, and again appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate you speaking to us today, and want to thank you and your company. As you all are one of our super success stories, and continue to improve and continue to grow in the community and add back to the community. And we really appreciate that for you and for the corporation. We really appreciate you all being in our community. I want to thank you all for being here and fulfilling all the obligations in every agreement that we've had in the past. You can't get any better than that.
I agree, and we feel the same about your involvement and all of your assistance as well. So greatly appreciated.
At this time, Allison, would this be an appropriate time to entertain a motion from the board to forward this to the county commission?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Alicia Summers has made arrangements with the CIA committee, which meets on Thursday, to have this agenda item. And so specifically, I think that what you would be requesting is the authority to approve and execute an agreement. Tell me if that's not what you're looking for, Alicia, because this is effectively a pilot agreement, which would have to be approved by the county commission. And so no magic words there, but that is the request. And I think it would be important for whatever incentive information to be shared with the county commission at the committee level, and then at the full commission. I'm sure Alicia would have that in place. So yes, you do need a motion to that effect.
I would entertain a motion from the commissioners to approve this proposal for this pilot program to be forwarded to the county commission for their approval. CIA committee first, and then the full county commission would vote on it. But it would be our job to forward this on. I would entertain a motion and a second to that effect from any of the commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, sir. And there's our second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to forward this to the CIA committee and the county commission with an approval of this project for a new pilot. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Okay, sounds like we had a unanimous decision to move forward and pass this on.
And I hate to be a stickler, but this is actually such important business for you. You do need a roll call vote with an electronic meeting, Chairman Mason.
I'm sorry. Okay, Teresa, could you do a roll call for us?
Yes, sir. Chairman Mason,
Yes, approve.
Ms. Crouch,
Approve.
Mr. Geary,
Approve.
Mr. Thomas,
Approve.
Mr. Williams, Mr. Williams. Okay. He's on mute, but he said approved.
Okay.
Mr. Frizzell,
Approve.
Mr. Decker,
Approve.
Mr. Roddy.
Approve.
8 approved.
Unanimous approval to pass this on to the CIA committee and the county commission. I would love to thank everybody for meeting today, and hope you all had a blessed Christmas and a wonderful New Year starting out. And I appreciate you taking your personal time to do the county's business and hopefully move forward with an industry that has been a really good community partner here that we're really proud of and want to continue for them to grow in our community. At this time, I'll ask if there's any other old business or any other questions or discussions from anyone on this call. If there be no other discussion or questions, then we will consider this meeting adjourned.
Thank you, Chuck, very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I really appreciate all you guys and gals getting on here in a tough time of year for everybody, but I really appreciate you all jumping in and helping us move this forward.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
And
Goodbye.